Hello and welcome to another episode of Stock Shots. Please remember, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just giving my opinion based on some things I see, like support and resistance, supply, demand, and of course, some indicators that may be on the screen. So always do your own due diligence. Make sure you educate yourself and always look to the left because we're looking at things that have already happened and think about what things may do in the future. So this is another episode of Stock Shots. Welcome. Okay, here we go with the C fund. We're still in that weekly time frame for the C fund, and what you'll see is that we had a huge push to the upside. Now, my last week, I was saying I was looking for it to continue down. It did continue down and filled the daily gap. I'm still looking for it to come down to this area here at around the 5,700. The reason I'm saying that is because I still did not see a higher break of this level right here, and that's about 21.63. So until I see a break of that for next week, I'm still going to have a bias of looking for it to go to the downside. Now, the only reason I'm saying that is because I feel like the push up that we had was really big. Now, I want to say we had almost a 6%. Let's see. We had a 5.12% push to the downside. Generally, the C fund or SPY, you could put just like that, usually does a 6%. Now, if it was only a smaller one, because it's a strong trend, that's fine. But I will get confirmation next week. And once again, that is breaking this level right here. And the reason I'm saying that is because I really want to see if the upward momentum is going to break here. And if it does, that's great. I'm going to be back in to my C fund play, and I'm going to be happy. But until then, I am looking for another rejection down here to this 5,700 area. I don't want to see it go down far, but I mean, hey, if it goes down further, it gives me a better entry, and I can make more money on the upside because it's most likely going to come right back up and test the highs at 6,092. So at this point, I'll put it to you like this. If you don't know what a head and shoulders pattern is, take a look here. It's a bearish pattern when it's facing straight up. So it kind of has this look like this. Now, if this pattern plays out, this will give us a push to the downside. I'm only looking for 5,700. It could go to further down, but it would be a pretty drastic push to the downside considering how we had this push to the upside this month. So that's the C fund. Now in the S fund, it's kind of mirroring it. It did about the same thing, except this one already pushed above its last week's low or high of last week. So this one, I'm going to say I'm looking forward to. I'm not sure. I'm not going to be honest. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure what it's supposed to do. I still would like to see it come down to this area here, which will be 220572, only because it looks like it wants to continue down from this area. So now I have time to, or should I say, I have another point where I can make a trend line. So if it breaks this trend line, I'm in. I'm going to the upside. I'm all in. If it doesn't break this trend line the next week, I'm still looking for it to come to the downside. Now, regardless of what happens, just be ready. Now, if it goes up, you already know our next area is going to be right around here, and it's going to say about 2385. If it goes to the downside, we're looking for 2205. So just be ready when it gets to either one of those levels. Currently, I don't want to say this is a bull trap, but it looks like it could be. Just be wary. Be wary to go either way. Okay. Now let's go for the bond fund. All right. So here we go. Now, like I said last week, I put all these to the downside. It popped up. This is still in the channel. Now, I'm still looking for this one to come down to 95, but this one does have a nice, there we go, a nice support here. So if this breaks support at the 95, what is that, 95 level? Well, I mean, I can't really say it's going to go to the upside. If it breaks this, that means it's going to continue down. That means 95.31, maybe $93 and change. This one's still in this channel. Once again, it broke its last week's high. This could be another bullish trap. I'm still going to keep my bias as looking to go to the downside, but there's going to be a shortened trading week this week. It's going to be a 4-day trading week, so you got to keep an eye out for how volatile things may be. Now, with this one, let's get our last one, and that's going to be the international fund. International fund. Let's see how you doing. Same picture. You see in the same picture the bonds international. It broke last week's highs. I'm not convinced. Okay, and the reason I'm saying that is that a lot of them here, and this is like an RSI indicator for me. For the bonds and the international fund, I'm getting, this is probably a bounce. It's going to go to the downside. This is a great pullback, but I don't want to get fooled by the pullback. Now, in the S fund, I'm going to this one. This candle looks great. I do not want to get trapped up here holding the bag. Now, if it hits this moving average here and continues down, that's going to confirm my assumption. And if the regime in the back here turns red, that's definitely going to confirm my assumption. I do want to see how the C and the S fund do come out this week, okay? Because I'd rather be in those than the international and the bond fund, but the C and S are essentially doing the same exact thing. International and bond, or should I say the F and the I fund, they're doing essentially the same thing. Now, I will say this, the bond market, pay attention to bond market. Bond market can lead the stock market a lot of times, okay? And at this point, it's still going to the downside. So what I want to see is, I want to see these come down, hit their bottoms, and retrace up. Because the sooner they start going up, the sooner I can make more money in my TSP. And the sooner you can make more money in your TSP. So hopefully you're going to be, ready just like me. I'm waiting to see these levels get hit. If they get hit and go through, hey, to the upside, great. To the downside, I'm still holding the G fund. So good luck, good trading. I'll see you next week for the next episode of the Stock Shots.